Welcome to More Tales.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my fiancée become a stay-at-home fiancée? My fiancée has proposed something that I have never heard of. We had a big argument and she felt I was acting like an AH. I wanted to get an opinion on what she is asking is a thing, and if is it something I should be worried about. I, 30M, recently got engaged to my fiancée Emma, 26F, last month. Emma is amazing and we met at work. I am a researcher in a big tech firm, while Emma works in marketing. We met 2.5 years ago during a company event, and I was completely smitten by her. I asked her out, she said yes, and we have had an amazing relationship so far. One of the things I love about Emma is how organized she is. Her job involves working on marketing events and event planning. She is great at it, and I am proud of her. However, her work also involves working longer hours, especially if she is helping in organizing events or meetups. Since my job is a desk job, I generally have very predictable hours and do not generally have to work late. She always complains about how I get to sit in a nice office while she is driving around everywhere and getting things done. I know this might come off poorly, but I am neurodivergent, ADD, and struggle with simple things, and that is one of the reasons I love her, as I struggle with anything that requires organization. She is patient and makes my life better in many ways. We moved in together in the summer. She moved into my apartment, and that was the first time we discussed finances openly. Due to some really lucky factors and stock value appreciation, I have a pretty good compensation package. She knew I was financially stable, but was shocked when she learned what I make. I was actually equally shocked at what she makes. It turns out I was making around 15x more than her. I offered her not to pay anything and concentrate on saving to pay back her student debt, which was paused at that time. I own our apartment. However, she said that she also wanted to contribute, and we decided to split the expenses proportional to what we make, which I thought was fair. She has always been very independent and self-sufficient. Now to the issue. We got engaged around a month ago during the holidays. She had never asked me for anything expensive before. However, she wanted a specific diamond engagement ring that cost us close to $15,000. I was not comfortable spending that, but she convinced me that she was going to wear it for the rest of her life, and hence it's worth it. We got it and she was very happy. Whenever she shows the ring to anyone, she often attempts to mention the cost of the ring in the conversation. I feel extremely uncomfortable with showing off and have told her many times to stop. However, she continues doing it. Yesterday, I came home and she asked me to sit on the couch next to her. She said she wanted to talk about something important. She said that she is planning to quit her job next month and give her 15-day notice. I was shocked and asked her if anything was wrong. She said that she wants to plan the wedding and it is going to take a lot of time. We plan to get married in the summer. Hence, she wants to make sure she takes care of all the bookings soon. I asked her why she needed to quit her job for that, and she said that she was tired of working long hours and wanted to be a stay-at-home fiancée. I laughed and told her that was not a thing. Plus, she still has tens of thousands of dollars of student loans. She argued that it was less than what I make in a month and we are a teen now, so she is not worried about it. I asked her what her plans were after the wedding, and she said that she had not planned what to do after that, but was glad I was with her. I told her that she could take a break, but I am not comfortable with her just abandoning her career at such a young age, especially since we are not planning to have kids for at least a few years. She is good at what she does and I want her to be independent even after marriage, in case something bad happens to me. We had a big argument and she feels I am an AH to want her to work after marriage when we can afford for her to stay at home. On one hand, what she makes is not going to affect our finances. However, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I have never heard of anyone leaving their job to plan the wedding. Is stay-at-home fiancé really a thing? I want to support her and make her life comfortable, but I feel quitting her career is a little too early for her age. Update. For context, the issue was that I earn a lot more than her, around 15x, because of some lucky circumstances, even though we work at the same company. She didn't know that until last summer when we moved in together. I have a very modest apartment that I own and don't spend a lot of money on myself, aside from a few hobbies. After we got engaged, she asked if she could leave her job to plan the wedding full-time and be a SAHF. I posted here because I thought the term stay-at-home fiancé was funny and figured it would make a few of you chuckle. After seeing thousands of comments calling her a gold digger, though, I thought it was time for a serious conversation with her about why she actually wanted to quit her job. I was able to gather my thoughts and have a proper conversation with her. On Friday night, we ordered in and had a nice dinner. I brought the subject up again and asked why she really wanted to quit. I tried to be supportive and not make her feel like I was attacking her. Initially, she became defensive and talked about how it shouldn't matter because she barely made enough to contribute financially to our relationship. I explained that it wasn't just about the money. She is hardworking and talented in her field, and she worked very hard to reach a position where she is helping with event management for a large organization. I also explained that although I make good money, I've only been working for a few years. We don't have enough savings that I could be completely confident she would be financially secure if something happened to me. I also told her that having a large salary doesn't make me immune to problems. If layoffs happen, I'm aware that I could be one of the bigger targets simply because of what I earn. I wanted her to understand that my concern wasn't about needing her paycheck. It was about not wanting either of us to become completely dependent on one income when she is only 26 and has a career she has worked hard to build. She agreed with most of what I said. She admitted that she had been feeling overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done before the wedding. She pointed out that I'm really bad at organizing tasks, so a lot of the planning would probably end up falling on her anyway. Our parents also insist that we get married this year, which leaves us with a fairly short time frame to arrange everything. She also told me she was completely burnt out at work. She barely has any energy left at the end of the week after constantly running around, sometimes traveling to different cities for events. Her biggest complaint was that her boss treats her like a work mule. She feels like she's doing a huge amount of work for barely any money, and it's become degrading and exhausting. That helped me understand where she was coming from. She wasn't sitting at home looking at my salary and deciding she wanted to stop working forever. She was exhausted and wanted some breathing room before the wedding. She wanted to plan everything from a happier place instead of trying to squeeze wedding planning into whatever energy she had left after work. She promised that she would start looking for another job once we're done with the wedding and honeymoon. She doesn't want to return to the exact type of role she's doing now, though. She wants something with more predictable hours and less constant running around. She also mentioned possibly going back to school and getting her master's. She insisted that she doesn't want to be a trophy wife. I joked that, at best, she would qualify for a consolation trophy. She laughed, although I don't think she was particularly happy with that one. I think that's fair. She plans to resign later this week, and hopefully she'll be able to enjoy the time off, recover from the burnout, and actually have some energy left to enjoy the wedding planning. As for all the gold digger comments, I understand where you are coming from. I grew up poor, and I make an effort not to show off what I have, probably to a fault, because not everyone in my family has what I have. She fell into that version of me. If I trust her enough to marry her, then I also have to trust my own perception of her. To me, she is one of the smartest, hardest working, and most independent people I know. Frankly, she doesn't care much about material things. Granted, she got a nice engagement ring and was excited to show it around, but most of my colleagues' spouses also have nicer rings. Overall, sorry for such a stupid, non-entertaining update. I'm glad we were able to talk about it, understand where the other person was coming from, and move on.
Thank you for visiting More Tales.